Hey, what's up, Tesla Clash? Unfortunately, bad news today. It does, in fact, sound like the Cybertruck is going to be delayed. We don't know for how long, guessing at least 6 months, which is not good, obviously, for Tesla or its stock. I think being first to market with an electric truck would have been huge. And if the Ford Lightning that I did a video on over here, that you can see, if they actually do go into production and have that available for consumers spring of 2022 or spring of next year, that would give Ford a huge advantage over Tesla, even though Ford is cannibalizing their own sales from their ICE Ford F-150s to that F-150 Lightning. So not thrilled about it. It comes down to 4680 production cells. Let's hear what Elon said on the conference call. Listen in.
Tesla's website still says Cybertruck production is expected to begin in late 2021. Can Tesla share more details on the current status of the Cybertruck and confirm if production is still
Yeah, the Cybertruck is currently in its alpha stages. We finished the basic engineering architecture of the vehicle. With the Cybertruck, we're redefining how the vehicle is being made. As Elon said, it carries much of the structural pack and large casting designs of the Model Y being built in Berlin and Austin. Obviously, those take priority over the Cybertruck, but we are moving into the beta phases of Cybertruck later this year, and we'll be looking to ramp that in production in Giga, Texas after Model Y is up and going.
So there you have it. Priority is the Model Y, getting both Giga Texas and Giga Berlin online, and then ramping the production of the Model Y as first priority. So we're talking about pushing the Cybertruck back at least 6 months on top of the challenges with the 4680 cells that we're going to dive into now.
We're also aiming to do a structural pack with 4680s cells, which is a mass reduction and a cost reduction. And but we're not counting on that as the only way to make things work. We have sort of a backup plan with a non-structural pack and 2170s essentially.
And now Elon's talking about the structural battery pack not being ready for either Austin opening or Berlin opening, and their backup plan and most likely course of action will be 2170 non-structural battery packs for Giga Texas and Giga Berlin for the foreseeable future until they can get this 4680 cell thing figured out.
But at scale production, we obviously want to be using 4680s and structural pack. From a physics standpoint, this is the best architecture, and from an economic standpoint, it is the lowest cost way to go. So the lightest, lowest cost. But there's a lot of new technology there, so it is difficult to predict with precision when does it work and when do you reach scale production. We are making great progress on the 4680 cells, but there is a tremendous amount of innovation that we're packing into that 4680 cell, and so it's not simply a sort of minor improvement on state-of-the-art. There are, and we went through this on the battery cell day, really dozens of, half a dozen major improvements and dozens of small improvements. So I think it will be great, but it's difficult to say when the last of the technical challenges will be solved. So in conclusion, our team continues to make huge efforts to make our factories run at full speed, which is very difficult. We have had some factory shutdowns due to part shortages, and we hope those will be relieved in the coming weeks and months. Yeah, it's just worth reemphasizing that the extraordinary difficulty of ramping production of large manufactured items. At the risk of being repetitive, it's actually easy to make prototypes or sort of hand-built small volume production, but anything produced at high volume, which is really what's relevant here, is it's going to move as fast as the slowest of the, say, rough order of magnitude, 10,000 unique parts and processes. And so you could have 9,999, but just one is missing. We were missing, for example, like a big struggle this quarter was the module that controls the airbags and the seat belts. And obviously you cannot ship a car without those. And that limited our production severely worldwide in Shanghai and in Fremont. So it wouldn't have mattered if we had 17 different car models because they all need the airbag module. So it's just irrelevant. So in order for Cybertruck and Semi to scale to volume that's meaningful for customer deliveries, we've got to solve the chip shortage, or working with our suppliers. And people sometimes say, why don't you just build a chip fab? Okay, that would take us, even moving like lightning, 12 to 18 months. So it's not like you can just whip up a chip fab. It's just like, yeah, I'll just make a quick chip fab. It is quite a trial dealing with all of the constraints of scaling a large manufactured object. I think it may be the case that Tesla is scaling. I think we might be the fastest in history ever for scaling a large manufactured object. I think maybe the Model T would have been comparable back in the day, the Ford Model T. And probably the internet knows the answer, but I think we may be scaling a large manufactured object at the fastest rate in history, or I'd like to know who did it faster, so we can learn from them. So it's worth just noting that, in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad. The Cybertruck and Semi actually both are heavy users of cell capacity, so we've got to make sure we have the cell capacity for those two vehicles, or it's kind of pointless.
So I think Elon said it right there. You got to get the 4680s where it's pointless. The Tesla Semi and the Cybertruck both need nickel 4680 cells to power those big, heavy vehicles down the road, especially my tri-motor that's on order. So we got to get this thing figured out. But let me know in the comments below. Are you going to wait for an extra year for the Cybertruck if it pushes into 2023? I think that's where my reservation was forecasted, with the between 500,000 and 1.2 million Cybertruck reservations. What effect do you think this is going to have on reservations? Let me know in the comments below. Are you willing to wait an extra year and a half for your Cybertruck? I know good things come with time. There's going to be, I got to wait. I got to have my Cybertruck. I got to have it.
But we are looking at a pretty massive increase in cell availability next year. But it's not like in January 1. It comes through it ramps up through the course of next year. Tesla cell production, we believe our suppliers will be able to deliver about twice as much cell output in next year as this year. We'll definitely make the 4680 reliable enough for vehicles, and I think are at the point where in limited volume it is reliable enough for vehicles.
Yes.
Again, going back to limited production is easy, or prototype production is easy, but high volume production is hard. There are a number of challenges in transitioning from small scale production to a large volume production. And not to get too much into the weeds of things, but right now we have a challenge with basically what's called calendaring, or basically squashing the cathode material to a particular height. So it just goes through these rollers and gets squashed like pizza dough, basically, but very hard pizza dough. It's denting the calendar rolls. This is not something that happened when the calendar rolls were smaller, but it is happening when the calendar rolls are bigger. So just we're like, okay, weren't expecting that.
Yeah. It's not a science problem. It's an engineering problem. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And the team is 100% focused on resolving these limiting processes as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah, and on the reliability side, as Elon mentioned, we have successfully validated performance and the lifetime durability of the 4680 cells produced at Kato. And we're continuing ongoing verification of that reliability. We're actually accruing over 1 million equivalent miles on our cells that we produce every month in our testing activities. As the focus on that is very clear. We want high quality cells for all of our customers. And yeah, we're just focused on the unlucky limiting steps in the facility, and with the engineers focused on those few steps remaining, we're going to break through as fast as possible.
Can you please update us on timelines for the start of production of Berlin and Austin Model Y, Cybertruck, and the Semi? Do you expect the ramp of Cybertruck to be as difficult as it is a new process?
I think Cybertruck ramp will be difficult because it's such a new architecture. I mean, it's going to be a great product. It might, I think, be our best product ever, but there's a lot of fundamentally new design ideas in Cybertruck. Nobody's ever really made a car like this before, a vehicle like this before, so there'll probably be challenges because there's so much unexplored territory.
I know this is not the news that we all wanted, but there is a bright, shiny spot. Tesla reported its best quarter ever, over $1 billion in profit. Huge. Exponential growth. This is the fastest growing company in the history of planet Earth. They're doing great things despite the chip shortage going on throughout the entire world, despite the problem with the 4680 cells and all the challenges they've had, despite all the red tape with Giga Berlin trying to get that factory open. They're pressing forward, and they're still looking to be on track between 880,000 and 900,000 vehicles produced this year. Of course, I want to see the Cybertruck come online by the end of 2021. I think we're going to be lucky now to see the Cybertruck in production by the end of 2022, which is disappointing. They have to focus on the moneymaker, and that's the Model Y. We know that. That's where the money's at. Energy business on a high note. The Megapack is sold out all the way until 2023. So not only is Tesla chip restrained like every other OEM out there right now, but they're also still cell restrained. So they're going to take their cells, focus on making cars, and if they have excess cells after producing as many Model Ys as they can, then they'll take those cells and put them back into energy. I think they're saying right now they have a demand for the Powerwall with their solar business. That Powerwall is going like 20,000 units a week, and they can't even meet that demand. So huge backlog, lots of money, good quarters coming up, Q3, Q4. It's only a matter of time before Cybertruck will get eventually online. Even after all this great news, of course, what happens? The stock market went down. Tesla went from $666 a share down to $629 earlier today. And right now the futures are looking negative to flat. So it's going to take a little bit of time for the analysts to get their arms around all this new information, digest it, and Tesla just has to keep on doing exactly what they're doing, world-class execution. I'm Kevin in Colorado. You've been watching Tesla Clash. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe.